All right, this week we are talking about balancing specifically the career of teaching with running a business, and it's a little bit different from just any other career, I think. So I want to really talk about this, so come on back in a moment and let's chat. In order to balance being a business owner and being a teacher, you really need to set some very strong boundaries. Okay, so as a teacher, sometimes you're asked to do certain things like, okay, I think you're really great in your classroom with students on reading. Would you mind running a 5-hour class on Saturdays dedicated to their phonics and reading? Do not say yes if you already have something dedicated to your business on Saturday for 5 hours. Don't do that, okay? 5 hours is a long time, but people come up to you with these wild requests, and it is okay to say no. Set the boundary. That means set up your schedule outside of school already, okay? So that means if you're going to wake up at 5 in the morning and go to the gym, do that every day. Don't tell the math department that you can meet them at school at 5 a.m. because that is your gym time. Set that boundary and keep that boundary, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, and do not feel guilty about it. So setting boundaries is really important. Set up your schedule so that you have times dedicated to your business, dedicated to teaching, dedicated to self-care and everything else, because you want to be a well-rounded person. Going to work is not supposed to be your entire life. It really isn't. It should be a very small portion so that you can live and eat and pay your rent. 2 is say no. It's okay to say no. So this kind of piggybacks on the last one with the boundaries. Like I said, if the math department is like, yeah, so the only time that we can really meet is at 12 p.m. On a Thursday, and you know that you are dedicated to your lunch time on that Thursday and you don't want to meet with these people because they upset you, then say no. Say, you know what, I actually have a prior engagement every Thursday at 12 p.m. and I won't be able to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're an adult. It's okay to say no. And you know what? No is a whole sentence. It's a complete sentence. We have to set boundaries. All of us need to. It's not just about, well, I have to do this because principals are bad. Or no. All of us really do need to set more boundaries. I think that if we didn't, if we said no more to some of the things that are like, a little bit insane, the school system, things would run a lot better. It's okay to say no. And I want to see you saying no more this school year. My favorite things to talk about comes from one of my favorite books, which is Rest is Resistance by Tricia Hersey. This is, yes, about getting rest, getting really good rest. So for example, not just sleeping, which is great, get your hours of sleep. Meditating as well is a form of rest. One of the deepest forms of rest is yoga nidra. Practice that when you can. You can do things like that during your lunch break. Or when you get to work, you can sit in the car and meditate for a little while. You can turn grading papers into a meditative process. Whatever you have to do to make sure that you're not stressed out, I think is really important. Don't get me wrong. I know I sound like I'm fussing. I love teaching. It is one of my many passions. It's one of the reasons why I'm still doing that rather than completely what my first degree is in. I really, really love it. But one of the ways that I keep from getting burnt out is by getting rest, by making sure that I'm home at a certain time every day, and I get my dinner and I rest, or I sleep in sometimes. And in addition to rest, I'm going to use rest as a term that's basically the opposite of working. So that could be exercising. That could be going to a dance class. I like to sometimes go to my fitness classes right after work, and that's some of my form of rest too. I'm not thinking about writing IEPs or anything like that. I'm just dancing or, lifting weights or whatever it is that I'm doing for my rest at that time. Working on being mindful. So practice mindfulness in your rest as well, so that whenever you are at work or wherever you are, the stress is minimal. I feel like professional development courses are great for both business owners and for teachers. So I would definitely say that that's something that you should regularly do to balance those acts, because when going to a lot of these professional developments as a teacher, I see things that they talk about that really help me out in business. The way that they present is always really awesome. I like how they keep us engaged. Beautiful graphics and things like that. It gives me ideas on how I can present things to people, such as the benefits of meditation or belly dancing. We're all learning from each other. And so when you're going to these professional developments for teaching, a lot of times those same companies have professional developments for business owners and things like that. So you can kind of cross over and just use everything as a learning experience. That's a great way to balance as well, because you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, I didn't do anything for my business today. All I did was for this 9 to 5 and that's terrible. No, things can cross over. So as you're sitting, listening to this presenter, think about, well, of course, be mindful and stay in the course and pay attention, but think about, okay, what he's talking about right now, I can incorporate this into my business in several different ways, and maybe list some of those things down. That'll make you feel a little bit better too, as if you're always doing something to nurture your business and to nurture yourself as a teacher. This is for both business owners and teachers alike. One of the best ways to keep that balance between that teaching hat and the entrepreneur hat is to know that you deserve respect. As a small business owner, a lot of times I think people want the small business prices, but they want the big business services. So sometimes they overstep a boundary. They're constantly like emailing and it may be like really late and they expect a response. You know that you deserve respect and you don't have to answer them right away. Same with a parent who calls really late. Keep those same boundaries. Know that you deserve respect in whatever you're doing. Running a business, people love to talk about how hard it is to run a business and blah, blah, blah. I think it's fun. That's why I do it. It's okay to have fun in your business, and it's okay to have fun in the classroom. So that's like an extra tip. Make sure you're having fun in both aspects in your life, and then things are a lot less stressful. So know that you deserve respect. You deserve respect in that classroom. They refer to you as Miss, Mr., Doctor, whomever. You make sure they're respecting you in there and you're respecting them. It's just a land of respect and love and all that wonderful stuff going on in that classroom. And it's the same way in your business. Make sure that people respect your boundaries and respect your fees, respect your time, that people, you don't set an appointment for 5 o'clock and a person shows up at like 6 p.m. and still expecting service. No, you demand that respect and you let them know, hey, I have to charge you a fee because you are late, and that is just the way it is. Always demand respect in whatever you do. And I think that really helps to keep that balance between what can be two pretty stressful things, running a company and running a classroom. So I hope that you found something valuable here today. If you did, please leave me a like. I hope your school year is going great, and I hope that you do something that brings you joy today. Bye.